Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities and ETFs that I follow. And I'm going to give you my financial opinions as we go about it. If you guys need any help with anything, check out finding-value.com. We do have a discount for the coupon code if you want a little bit of a discount. And we're going to dive right in here and see what today has in store for us. So looking at the DXY, we are continuing to strengthen in the dollar. Stronger day today, up 0.28%, still working our way higher. We are above support. We've got that long white line going across, which is above a good support level. It is holding, and it looks like we're kind of squeezing up here in this corner here. So again, we'll see if we rip higher or if we continue to squeeze up against this support level just over, was it 101.855. Now yields, the short-term yields heading higher today. Nice strong move. A little stroll in the park, just moving on up for the 2-year. So that looks stronger. And the 10-year and 30-year did fall a little bit. It's not a huge selling pressure day or anything like that. Just a little bit of relief today. Slightly lower, minus 0.32. And then the 30-year a little bit lower, even more so at 1% lower. So the curve did invert a little bit as it fell down just a teeny bit. TYX TNX ratio shows us that. You can see the curve is still highly inverted. That is why we are hugging this bottom line down here. The curve down here is inverted. Generally, when that occurs, at some point, we'll get an uninversion of the curve. That is when gold takes off. Does very well when this curve uninverts. But at this time, we're basically just pinning the inversion of the curve down here. We're not really coming back up yet. That is also a spot where commodities do very well, and precious metals start to come alive when that curve starts to uninvert. TLT, bond prices coming up today a little bit, 0.73%. This is the 20-year Treasury bond ETF. So we're coming up a little bit, but we are below this resistance level that I've got drawn in here. So we are below it just a teeny bit. And we'll see if we can get back above that support level, resistance level. Gold, not minding the yields today and what they were doing, just up a little bit, $3 an ounce. And we're real close to that support level. We're just underneath that support, which is now going to be resistance, going across and going the trend line going this direction and the one horizontal line going across. Silver still enjoying a little bit of a move higher today. We are breaking back above all this resistance. So we're using it as support and it acts as resistance. We're all in that general location, but up 0.45% or 10 cents an ounce. We're right up on this trend line where we could rocket higher at any point. Platinum enjoying a little bit more of an up move, 1.8% today. And it does look like we could start to gain some momentum to the upside for platinum. So that's looking good. XAU to gold ratio, we're right on that support level going across. And we're just sitting on it right at this moment. So we were up today and we're right on that support level. CRB index, barely lower today, probably due to oil. Oil was down a little bit. And maybe we've got one last little move lower here before heading on up, kind of an ABC correction, maybe. Or maybe we work our way out by just consolidating, something on the lines of that. But CRB index, we've broken the pattern to the upside. Now we're just kind of making that first pullback before a run higher. CRB to S&P 500 still working its way on up. Outperformance of commodities. It's a bullish engulfing. That does look like it wants to continue higher. So that looks very good, and the momentum's to the upside. GDX up a little bit today. Same with GDXJ. Same with SILJ. It's all the same thing. I know some people want me to go over all of them, but they're all the same for the most part, roughly speaking. And we're trying to find a little bit of a support area right where we're at on all of them, trying to turn that momentum and turn it on higher. But we're in the process of doing that. Crude oil down a little bit, 0.44%. Pretty small day today, not a lot of selling pressure. Doesn't make me think that we're going to go, way down here. Makes me think that we're going to go like sideways and bounce or something like that before turning on up. And at any point, we could see a big bullish engulfing candlestick, which would propel us to the upside. So everything looks good at the moment, and the momentum is to the upside in the medium term. Nat gas down a little bit today, down 3%. We are coming up into that shoulder season at some point here, and we could see nat gas pull back or go sideways for a little while. XOP, yeah, you know me, right underneath that resistance line. Nothing's really changed. Momentum still looks good. I mean, we had a down day, but it's not a huge selling pressure day. We've got the nice big bullish engulfing a few trading sessions ago. I think this still looks good to go higher and try to break to the upside. OIH right above support. I do think that support will probably hold right where we're at. And let's hope we can get a turn here and get moving to the upside. This is a bullish piercing here and no real reversal candlesticks. So looks good. Sprout Physical Uranium Trust just doing its natural stroll to the upside, up 1.66% at $19 a share. It looks fantastic to continue on higher. So that looks really good. Stay positive on uranium because everything's looking real good. URA up a little bit today. Generally speaking, when you get these large up candlesticks like this, sometimes you get a little small down day. I call it a bloody nose. It's generally a continuation pattern to the upside. You got the momentum. It's just a little bit of selling pressure, profit taking day. Uranium doing the same thing. There's your little kind of red candlestick, little bloody nose. Still, everything's still intact to go higher if they want to push it higher. URNJ just doing the same thing on an amplified move of URNM. So looks good. Looks good. Just a little bloody nose. We are coming up. We did have resistance underneath us in this general location here. You could even argue that it's almost like a little bottoming pattern going on, but we did sometimes we get return moves back to like 18 bucks, and then maybe we'll rip it. Maybe this is the return move that we got today, and that's all she can muster. So everything still looks good. TAN's still doing its downward move. Maybe we get down to about $50 ish. It is a reverse symmetry move. If you notice, I think I can take a bars pattern here. Let me do this like this. So you take this, and then if I right click on it and do, I think it's mirrored. Nope, not mirrored, it's flipped. Go back. If I do flipped, bam. So this is probably what is occurring and what I'm seeing in these charts. So it's going to be something on the lines of, you can see how that aligns there. And that's it mirrored. So we do have a mirror that comes down like that. And you can see it. And I think we'll rock it on up at some point whenever it decides to turn. But that's the mirrored image, just to show you guys that this bottom point is going to be that bottom point there. So we do have symmetry. Looking at COPX, up 0.82%. And we're still in the channel. The channel. Lithium down a little bit, still in the pattern. I thought we were going to break here, but nope. We came back down in, and we're still within the pattern. Everything's still intact. It does look good down here. Again, I'm not a big lithium guy, so but we're watching it. REMX, a little bit of selling pressure. Looks like we could come back a little bit further to the downside with that bearish engulfing we have today, and probably come towards the bottom end of this support level. A little bit of selling pressure there. SPX down a little bit. That is a bearish piercing. That does look like we could continue lower. Not much of a bounce here, coming right into weakness. That is a reversal candlestick. If you were to look at it and throw a trend line on it, you can see that we've broken downward, come back up, and will probably continue lower, is my guess. This is a flag pattern to the downside. But probably lower with the S&P 500 in the short term. NASDAQ doing something very similar to the S&P 500. And the start of the move was this bearish engulfing here. And then the move lower. No reversal candlesticks yet. Nothing that I can see where we're going to get a big buying pressure yet until we see it. EEM still down a little bit today, but just basically moving sideways. Again, I still think this is a good location to be looking, and this will go up when the dollar reverses, which has not happened yet. XHB home builders, is this putting in a double top where you've got a top here and another top? It very well could be, because we've got a lot of selling pressure here, not much buying pressure, which generally indicates that we could continue lower in the short term. Moo also heading lower. The momentum's definitely to the downside. This support level is not really holding all that well. We could see further downside selling pressure in the VanEck agribusiness ETF in the short term. Copper pulling on up right back to the resistance support level. It's support when you look at it from the monthly. It is resistance looking at it at the weekly, and it's resistance looking at it at the daily. But we're right there at that support resistance line for copper. Iron ore is looking better. Looks like we're trying to break out here soon, or are breaking out. Kind of right at that tip there, ready to run here. So iron ore looks pretty good in this falling wedge that we're trying to break to the upside there. Nickel holding strong, moving sideways today. There we are, but the momentum is still to the downside. Aluminum up quite a bit. This could be trying to muster some sort of upward move. Nice strong buying pressure today. Here's your bottom. The candlestick's contracted. You had a nice good hammered candlestick, which is a reverse candlestick. And there's our reversal today. Now we have to see how much staying power it's got and how much momentum we've got behind this. Baltic Dry Index. I still think this looks very good for a move higher. So that looks good. 1, 2, 3, falling wedge, false breakout, breakout, and a move on up is where I would be betting on. Newcastle coal still moving sideways, and I would be looking at coal companies. Nat gas and coal will probably pull back in the fall. This will just maybe move sideways, and we could get some really good entry points in this fall for nat gas and coal. Bitcoin, again, we've broken that uptrend line, and it doesn't look too strong here. Lots of red candlesticks, big selling pressure, not much buying pressure. It still looks like we could fall lower in both of these. We've got a lot of selling pressure over here. I don't jump in front of the selling pressure of this large unless it's just some ridiculous valued company or something. But yeah, that too much selling pressure for my liking. But that's what we've got for today, guys. So uranium still looking probably the best of the bunch. Silver looking pretty good as well. Platinum probably the strongest today. And energy still looking very strong. Those are probably the strongest sectors. Aluminum trying to put in a bottom. Iron ore is looking pretty strong, so the dry bulk shipping sector could look pretty good. Baltic Dry Index looks good too. Those two are correlating, which is good, and we want to see that. And some others like aluminum looking like it's trying to put together a bottom or something like that. So it doesn't look too bad across the board if you're a commodity investor, and commodities are outperforming the overall stock market. That's what we want to see. So thumb up for the content, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website, and we'll catch you guys later. This is Finding Value.